We're live. We're live, actually. There's going to be like 30,000 people. No, we're not live streaming. Can you see Gio now?
No.
Might call Fighter real quick.
He should be on it too.
Call Fighter. I know he hasn't seen it yet, though. We were calling our tech guy.
Yeah, we need the tech guy.
Alpha Zombie, that's what Gio put as his thing.
Alpha Zombie?
That's fucking hilarious, dude. I didn't have time to write questions down, but they're right here.
What do you mean? I was watching you.
Yo, we're live on the pod right now, and we're having some technical difficulties. You called in from your phone before, right?
Yeah, I had to because my laptop battery was just dying on me.
Can you see everybody when you do that? Because Jackson can't see Gio, but Gio, we both can see Jack.
Yeah, sometimes you can't see one person. It's one of those things where it tries to, like, if you're talking, it'll throw the spotlight on you sometimes. You can bear it.
You got anything to tell the people?
I got some.
No words of wisdom.
Andor. He says, "Go watch Andor."
Andor is the greatest piece of Star Wars maybe ever written. My best thing I can say about it is it finally realized that their audience has grown, and it wrote a piece of material that is mature with its audience. First time any big franchise has done anything like that, and it paid off well.
Beautiful. All right, I gotta let you go, brother.
All right, I'll see you.
See ya. If Gio like goes on a tangent, it'll probably switch to him. So 28 years later, movie review. Spoilers alert ahead. So watch this after you watch the movie. Don't watch it before. Yeah, what were your guys' initial thoughts after the movie? First thing that went through your head.
I thought it was great. Cinematically, I know I mentioned something about this, like the music added with the with all the like intense scenes and shit. I was pleasantly surprised when G said something that it was a film on an iPhone.
Yeah.
So that in itself, after hearing that, I was just even more, I think, impressed by it. But like I said, this is the only one of the movies of the series that I've seen, so my thoughts on it might be different. I don't know. I've never seen any of the other movies or know anything about the other movies. I don't know if they correlate, but I thought it was great. I thought it was intense. I thought it hit all the little bit of funny, intense, sad at the end. So I thought it was great.
I liked it too. I don't remember the other ones very well, but I remember it had like the same style, and it's very like, it took a while to get used to all that choppy. In the first like 10 minutes, I was like, oh fuck, is this gonna suck because of how choppy it was? But I don't know, it kind of added to it, and like it was very British. It reminded me of like things I'd seen as a kid that were like super British. Everything's like gray and like kind of grimy and like intense and like working class. It was fucking, I thought it was cool. I don't think the story was like very focused, but it's a zombie.
What do you mean by that?
Zombie movie.
What do you mean by that?
It just felt like three separate things. Like in the beginning, it's the dad and the kid, and they're doing like the standard, showing him the ropes, and then all of a sudden it becomes about the kid and the mom.
Yeah.
And their like journey, and then I liked Ralph Fiennes, the doctor guy, but like that wasn't really. He was the man, but like, what did that really add to the movie? Not that much. It was just
so okay.
Like
so
go ahead.
While a question that popped in my head while I was watching this is what it was kind of at the point when it was switching from the kid and the dad to when he was going to watch after his mom. And I wrote, what is the purpose? Like, what stories is trying to tell? And I think it was him growing up as a kid, because like you just see throughout the movie, like him totally change. Coming of age, exactly. Like it's his first hunt. It's his initiation. And also you said when it was choppy in the beginning, I was worried about that too. But when it fucking cut to the red night vision scene, that was some of the creepiest shit, crazy. Like I thought that was so sick and so eerie. Like it was super cool.
The cinematic aspect of it, and dude, like what I mean by the soundtrack is it's like eerie and like abstract. Like it wasn't like even like a song. It was just like
Yeah,
it was
noises.
like scary sounds mixed with like a melodic like whatever, but it really added to like the suspense of the scene with cutting back to what cavalry like old archers, and then
I
like
love
going
that.
to the new, and then like the red coming out, and then like you know
My one complaint with the red is we never got a scene. The red was like the scariest and best cinematic part of it. They should have had a scene where the kid's like moving somewhere at night, and they show the kid in that setting, like sneaking
being
past.
watched or whatever.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I wonder, like, it almost seemed like it represented something, whether it was like his imagination or maybe there's a little more to it that we didn't fully catch. But yeah, that would have tied it in pretty cool. But I also thought it was really sweet when he kind of wrote, it's like the Earth is retaking itself to where it's a mix of old and new, and just kind of like humans going back to the Stone Ages, and they have
Yep.
the opening scene when it says 28 years later, it shows like a castle and a field, and it was so sweet. I'm like, because they're like archers and stuff. That was a cool shot.
Even those cuts were like choppy at first, but I like that. Like that's some shit. If I was directing a movie, I would 100% have like I would find a way to get medieval archers into it or something like that. Like that was sick.
I was also going to.
It adds questions for the viewers. It's like, why is this being put in there? What is the like? What is the the correlation between this and what's actually happening in the scene?
And I think it's what Kevin is talking about, that like they had to go back to their roots because the English, they were like the longbow. They invented that, so like they were for a couple centuries they were nuisances with the bow, and like they had to rely back on that to fight the undead.
True.
Also, Jay, back to the soundtrack. I found it like hypnotizing. Like it just the way it was, the cuts, the scenes, and the music. It was almost like hypnotizing to where it was like, it's just something about it. There was a guy on Instagram that I saw where he bought a shoe from the dark web, and it had like a tracker in it, and then he found like a VHS tape, and it had like blood on it, and he played the VHS tape. And it was the way it was like, it was super eerie, super creepy, and kind of reminded me of some of the scenes from this show. I'll send it to you guys so you can see it.
It just like makes it more intense, and it's like creepy and like super like very abstract.
Yeah. So
they did a great job about making the zombies like intense and scary, like better than pretty much any other zombie movie, I'd say. Maybe like I Am Legend, they're a little bit freakier just because they're fast. They're extremely fast like and strong.
Hierarchy, like
that was cool.
Like they knew they were like when the kid killed his first one. Remember when they realized that there was humans there? One of them
the other one
waved its arms at the other one. Like they had some sort of communication, or like
it's like a family or a tribe, and they knew that they had killed a tribe member.
Like they're not just like brain dead and just gonna like run it. It's not like they're more calculated than that, I think. And that added to, especially with the alpha, it's like this dude was on a complete mission and like knew what he was doing, knew what he wanted.
So how do people get infected? That was something that they never fully addressed. Like, how do you become a zombie?
I think they turned quick.
Yeah, they show that in the first one. It's like, I don't remember it exactly, but I know like if blood gets in your eyes, if blood gets in your mouth, pretty much if it enters your bloodstream in any way. So if you get
bit, called it rage something, right?
Yeah, the rage virus. That's what it's called.
And why are they all naked? That was hilarious. They're all naked. I think every single one is naked.
Well, that's kind of like, I kind of like that because it's been 30 years, so the clothes have like
their dongs are out all the time.
A lot of dongs. There were a lot of dongs.
Wait, what were you saying, G?
The alpha's dong,
Dude, the alpha's dong.
The alpha dong.
It was a secondary weapon he had ready to fucking pull out.
Dude, that guy was crazy.
Felt like he was obstructing his running at one point.
Weighing him down.
Alpha dong.
Oh my gosh. I immediately thought of Forrest Gump when I saw how fast he was running in the causeway.
Yeah. Oh, perfect form.
Just sprinting so fast. Perfect form.
Perfect form. Could have been Tom Cruise.
Literally.
So,
he was fucking running.
We got our introduction to the show, or to the movie, with the Teletubby Massacre is what I labeled it. And I don't really know what that represented. Just kind of weird and kind of to like the whole like random hypnotizing like. Yeah. Do you guys
Yeah,
think
I
that
don't
had
really know the
any?
symbol. I don't really know the
I think I
symbolization with
know.
that.
The kid in the beginning, his name was Jimmy, and they were watching the Teletubbies, and then at the end, those weird like Power Rangers that came out, that dude was Jimmy. So maybe he got
That
like
confused me.
that was weird. That was like the
That was
worst part of the
weird.
movie.
I thought it was like a dream or something, but I was like, this
Yeah,
has got to
that,
be
that
towards the end of the movie. Like
there's no need for that. That was like
they're wearing
because
like
up until
chains
that
and
point,
shit.
it's like a realistic zombie movie, and then they come out like the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
That
like
was
another
chains
weird.
question
on
I
and like.
had is how do the zombies communicate? Because they are communicating with each other.
Um,
The Alpha
I
probably.
probably
The
just
alpha dong.
screaming. I don't
The
know.
Alpha Dong, yeah, it swings it in one direction and they all run there.
Telepathically, he just is sending waves through his dong to them. I don't know.
Probably.
This is kind of random, but there was one scene where it was after his second kill. He sees like a buffalo carcass, and I think he maybe like throws up or something. And that literally, I can smell it right now thinking about it. When I was in Kenya with Fida, we saw a carcass, and it was the most. There was like millions of flies. It smelled like absolute shit, and it just randomly reminded me of that. But
Yeah, that's gotta be gross.
so, so yeah, it was kind of like they went back to the Stone Ages. He goes. So he goes on the mission with his dad. He finds out his mom is sick, and he basically says he's going to help her. And
I was confused. Sorry to cut you off. I was confused about what sickness she had initially in the beginning.
dude, fuck her for sending her. I was so pissed when she's like, she basically knew she had cancer, and she's gonna send. I don't know how old the kid is, but he's a
She was
child.
like, I thought
12.
so at the end.
12. She's gonna send him to go on a suicide mission. Like
Well, she also wasn't all there, so like
that was
I
not
have
cool.
some complaints about that. They shouldn't have made
even her
him 12. That's too
decision-making.
young. 12 is way too young to be shooting bow and arrows that are like full strength, to be like
Yeah.
fighting these like those things would give us trouble, and we're grown men.
Yeah,
And
Dude,
here's this little 12-year-old. He was also
what was
an
his
idiot,
name?
to be fair.
he was an idiot sometimes.
What was his name?
I don't think he was an idiot.
Spiky?
G.
Dude, they made
I don't
so
think
many dumb decisions. First of all,
Dude, I take
Just
him.
letting
him
the
and the
mom
dad-
lead, letting the mom completely lead the pack.
Mom
She's
lead.
just insane.
when him and his dad are out, dude, they're like talking full volume. I would think
Yeah.
you'd be so quiet out there. Why would you not be so quiet? You have no idea where they're at. Be completely quiet. You're right next to each other. Talk to each other in a low volume. They attract throughout the entire movie. They never learned from that. And then that
True.
dumbass Swedish guy, when they're in the train car and the zombie gave birth, he's like yelling. He didn't learn either.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was his like first day there, but the rest of them didn't even say to him like, dude, you need to shut up. Like, you're attracting everything.
Yeah, they're just talking full volume on the trail.
They're talking full volume. Like, I thought the dad was great. He was probably my favorite character, but even him, dude, he's like fucking around on that mission with his kid. Like, they're just
Yeah.
fucking around, and like he's like joking and shit. I don't know.
I will say though, I'll take that.
It's weird where it's like so creepy and so intense, but then it's also like
They're acting like dumbasses.
they're acting like dumbasses. There's Power Rangers, and like, you know, it's like pick a lane. I think
True.
they should stick with like the creepy, extremely intense lane.
Try
it's like
to
I Am
use
Legend
as
if
much
it was
realism as
creepier.
possible.
Yeah.
So, G, I have to say though, I'll take him 10 times out of 10 over Elle from The Last of Us. Fucking,
Well, yeah.
he's way better than her.
Ellie, yeah.
He would kill her
I'm
in a
not
1v1.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But I'm not saying
Maybe not,
I think the
but-
actor's amazing, because the actor is a young kid. That is like a 14 or 15
I think they should have done
kid.
like 15. 12 is too young.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like,
And I
kids
just
who were
think
in high
like
school freshmen look like they're 12.
Dude,
Yeah.
but how about
And-
those headshots? How those were filmed where it like turns around, it's like almost like a
But then
360 shot.
there was a split second pause right before it went, like literally 1 second. It would stop like
Yeah.
right at the head, and then it would go.
yeah, those are
That
cool.
was super
The dad
sick,
was
dude.
only hitting headshots.
The dad was an absolute monster. And that's another complaint I have, honestly. So like the story of the movie, the story would have been way better if when the mom, so think about the dad, he's like extremely proud of his son, so much so that he's like lying to the whole town about how good his son did. And then
Yeah.
his son sees his dad cheating on his mom, who's like dying, so he's being a fucking idiot. And that relationship is like broken at that time. And then the son and the mother run off. Why doesn't the
Like-
dad? They literally told us you're not allowed to go rescue. Why doesn't the dad say, "Fuck that, my son's more important than that. I'm gonna go out and try and help him right now to try and rekindle that." That would have been a great way to like,
True.
you know, reform that bond. But they just kind
So
of,
we
the
didn't
dad
really
just stayed there.
Yeah, we didn't see the dad, what he was up to at all.
Well,
Because
No.
I remember you looked at me and said, like when the little kid started the fire, so then everybody went. So then he went and grabbed his mom, and they just completely jet setted immediately. He was like no thought process. He was like, "We're out
Yeah.
of here. We're going."
Yeah.
You know, and you were like, "He's
Yeah.
completely
One
just."
quiver of arrows. I said they're just sending it. Yeah. There was
Yeah,
no.
you two looked at me and said, "Dude, they're completely sending it."
Yeah. There was no
Um,
plan.
So they're gonna make 2 more of these movies that are continue from here. So I really I kept asking myself like, what is the purpose of this film? And I think it's just like almost a backstory on the kid. Like he's obviously gonna probably be older in the next one, and it's just
Yeah.
maybe the dad isn't even gonna be a big part in the next one. So it's just kind of establishing how he got to where he is.
Jimmy's probably going to be, but then like it might be corny if these Power Ranger looking guys or whatever
Yeah.
are like the main.
At the end, the guys at the end.
What, like if this kid just becomes a chain ring wearing like beast?
Yeah.
Wait,
the
how did I
bow, like,
describe them? They were
If it's
fucking
about
weird as
them,
hell,
I'm not
dude.
looking forward to it, to be honest.
they're like
That was weird.
sweatsuits and like
Seemed like
Adidas sweats.
yeah, dude, they looked fucking ridiculous. I thought I wrote
dancing crew just like came out of nowhere and like dominated at the end of the movie.
Okay, but before that, so when we get introduced to the doctor, it's when right after that one guy died and he saves him, right? And he's in the doctor. They were in like the bus,
The train
and that one guy gets the train, and the guy gets his head ripped off, and
with
then
the spinal cord.
yeah, spinal cord. That's the first time the doctor's in it, right?
Yeah, he saves the kid from the Alpha.
So
He
he's
shoots
like
the-
save your life.
the
So he's in
morphine and xylazine thing.
So his first scene, he's almost like glowing. They try and make him like this angelic character, and he's in all iodine.
Can you see my screen?
No. Oh yeah, I thought we just lagged out. But yeah.
This is what it's supposed to be based on, apparently. There's this dude named Jimmy Savile who was like a huge presenter in Britain who like ran a kids show, and he ended up being a pedophile. And he would wear sweatsuits and chains, and he had long blonde hair. So they're saying it's like an ode to that guy.
Okay.
You can kind of see it a little bit. Rocking sweatsuits, named Jimmy. Got the same hair.
Dude, the childbirth, it shows the brutalities of childbirth. Dude, that was fucking disgusting.
That was
scene.
wild, yeah.
And infection spreads through birth. So yeah, I said killed by majestic dark guy because he was in iodine, so he was like all orange. I even wrote he seems like a cult leader, which he basically kind of had his own cult. But one thing he said that really stuck with me was remember death, and then he said, "Remember you must die," and then he goes, "Every skull is that of a thought," and that reminded me too when we were in the catacombs, Gio, and I was staring at a face, thinking like this person who is buried under the streets of Paris, who's right in front of me, like lived an entire life, had their thoughts, and that really kind of stuck with
shit going on that you did.
What?
Had all the same stuff going on as you, all the emotions, the thoughts, family, friends, all that.
Well, I know, and I think that you said what was the point of him? Well, I think the point of him was to say, remember, like die doing something that's worth it. And then he also said right before his mom died that to leave it with love versus I don't think he wanted him to see his mom die, and they weren't fighting. They just made up. It's a good time for her to go.
He didn't want the little boy to watch his mom wither away.
Yeah.
Plus, she probably knew how like sketchy it was for her to be out there. That's another small complaint I have, though, to be honest. So, like, here, the first third of the movie, the dad's training the kid, and, like, he's scared, but he's, like, obviously good enough. Some of his shots hit. He knows what he's doing. And then there's that time when he's on watch, and the mom, this is what I talk about him being an idiot. He's on watch, his mom is sleeping. He fucking falls asleep on watch. What's the number one rule? You don't fall asleep. He falls asleep, and then that thing crawls up. Instead of getting a chance to see how he's developed and like, all right, he's going to kill this thing on his own now, the mom has to wake up and kill the zombie. So it's like,
yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of annoyed me.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I was super pissed when the mom, because that was right around when the mom said she thought that she had breast cancer. And it's like, you literally put your son in danger. You made him go on this whole mission. And yeah, I was a little upset about
she
that.
She was like, I thought it might be something like that. It's like, why didn't you fucking say something then? Like, why didn't you give anybody some sort of idea that you're unwell? And she never spoke about anything regarding her illness.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then it ends with
those in general, and then it's like this guy does a 30-second like check on her chest and is like, yeah, I think you have cancer. She's like, yeah, I thought so. Like,
yeah, how does he even know that? He doesn't have fucking
an hour and 45 minutes
X-ray.
being like, what is wrong with this lady?
Yeah,
she was
how
good,
does this
though,
guy
the
know?
Actress.
No, I thought she was great. I thought
she was
really
great.
Good.
I was trying.
I
to figure
thought the
out
acting was all good.
It was good. She's from The Last Duel. That's the woman from The Last Duel. I couldn't
The
figure out who
wife?
she was, but yeah.
The wife? That's a good movie, dude. I rewatched that kind of recently.
Yeah.
So the movie ends with the weirdest looking guys who look like they do not fit in this time thing at all. What do you think the next one is going to be? Or like, do you think it's going to take place right where it left, or it's going to be a time jump, or what are your guys' thoughts?
Time jump.
Yeah, it's got to be a time. He's got to be older. He'll be like 28 maybe in the next movie.
All right,
16 years later, so what would that be? 40, like 4 years later? If to call it
dude,
that.
Okay, another thing though, they showed the beauty in it too when they showed the northern lights. The animal migrations were super cool.
The water at night.
The water, them just walking through it. I think they did a good job of showing horrific stuff and then also the beauty in it as well, and seeing the stars like that and everything. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, those shots were as good as anything in any movie. Those were fantastic.
Being
especially
on top
the
of like
causeway
a huge,
at night.
Yep.
It was super creative. Like, even if it wasn't the best movie, the way they filmed it, I haven't seen like anything else like it. Like, it was super unique, and I appreciate that it's not just like every other movie. Yeah, they fucked up, but like some of these shots were quite a bit different than what you typically see.
For sure.
True.
So after
I wouldn't even bring it as far as to say that they fucked up, but like
no.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It was just, I think the whole movie we get like the sinister aspect of it, as well as like beauty within that. But then the end is just like kind of corny with those dudes like jumping, doing backflips and shit.
Yeah, they were corny as fuck.
I wouldn't say it ruined it, but it's like it leaves you at the end like, what?
They seem like they did not fit in the movie at all. They look like out of a comic book.
Yeah, and I'm sure that that's a lot of people who have seen all the movies. That's their like hang up on this new one. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, there was some people like
know.
The guy next to me seemed like he didn't really like the movie very much, and like I don't think this movie's for everybody. Like, I think you need to like.
In front of you at the party.
She hated it. She said it was absolutely terrible. All right, lady, you go make one.
It's not terrible though, but all right. What would you guys give it out of 10?
Probably like a 7 or an 8, like a 7.5.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say 7.5. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think it stands right around a 7. Like, it's good, it's unique. There could be a few things better, but like, I think they just it was cinematic. It was a setup, so it wasn't like we got a huge resolution, but I think it did give good backstory on the kid, and there's a lot they can take from it, you know?
Yeah,
I agree.
Visually,
so
you
what
won't
would
get
you?
anything much better than that.
What was that what?
Visually, you're not going to get movies that are much better than that. Like, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like innovative with those like headshots like you're talking about where they pause it and like shift the angle. Those are dope.
It was crazy. Anything else about it stand out?
I would have. Let me throw this out there. If you guys could have changed the end of the movie,
Mm.
what would you have had the last like 10 minutes be? For me, I felt like they were going along the route of, because like he was sitting at that fire on that long twisty road, he was cooking up a fish. I felt like it was gearing towards them showing us that he's on his own now after he wrote the letter, and is like he's becoming more so in tune with his surroundings and is gonna like
Yeah.
be a beast. But then these dudes just like show up,
Yeah.
and it threw me off. So like I would have liked to see him like, start figuring out like building traps, or like I don't know, just like showing us that he's progressing in being in this environment by himself and going to be able to be a beast. Like if there potentially is another movie where he's older, like he's already starting to become better in his craft at being a survivalist, I guess.
I would have had the doctor tell him something like to give him a new quest. Like I don't know, saying
Yeah.
that maybe there's like something weird about the virus in this certain area and he like starts heading in that direction. And then like you said, kind of him surviving on his own, putting up camp, fishing, and then I
Yeah.
would have had I would have had the last shot be the dad leaving the causeway to like go look for his son. So
Yeah.
then the
That'd be
second
sweet
movie
too.
starts. Yeah, second movie starts with the kid on whatever quest he's on. Maybe shit hits the fan. The dad comes out of nowhere. They
Ooh,
get
that'd be good.
reconnected. You know,
Couple
I
headshots
just
yeah,
all
from
they
an
really had
unknown
to do
shooter.
all they really had to do was just not have those guys save him at the end. Like they could even just had him leave the
Exactly.
doctor walking into a field, going on his own. Maybe he kills a couple zombies, makes it seem easier, and then like what Gio said would be great too. But I just think the guys threw it off. Like
And maybe that's an insight into what they're potentially doing for the next movie. I don't know. Maybe that's like setting it up. Who knows? But
like a cult kind of that the kid gets
yeah, I
roped
just
into.
I don't think it's. I don't know.
What
I
they
think a
should
why
lot
do
be
of
they have
doing,
gold
people, as
chains
well
on
as us, are kind of like
and
confused by
jumpsuits?
what.
they should try and get the kid should be like his objective should be trying to get the military or whoever's like outside the island to try and like let them off.
Yeah, because
That should really be the objective is getting
that
off this
kid,
island.
the guys with the guns were technically what, patrolling the waterways, making sure
Yeah,
nobody got off the island. So it's like there's
right.
people out there who know this is happening and who are more well equipped than the people who are on the island itself. Maybe
Yeah.
that, yeah, like you said, could be another like he tries to get with some of those dudes and like figure out what's truly going on, or if anybody has any more
Yeah.
information about what's going on.
Convince them to let him off the island. I did see something about the previous movie, 28 weeks later, and the issue in that one was they did escape from Britain, which is an island. Like all those countries are on an island, and they got to France, and there was a woman in that movie who somehow carried the virus for 6 months, like undetected, and that's how
Wow,
it spread in France. And so,
because
like,
it was
that's
unknown that she had it. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why, like, if the kid can somehow figure that out on the island and maybe, come up with a way to fight that and then present that to the people, then they could all be rescued. But
Yeah,
it's
I
weird that
think the
they're not
next
even
one.
like dropping supplies or any like they're just on their own. They know
yeah.
Yeah.
they're there.
I really think this was just an establishing backstory to the kid, how he became whatever he's gonna be, and to show his struggle, show how he lost his mom. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the dad, but the kid is definitely. You didn't even. I didn't
He
know if
tried
the
to run
dad. I
through the
thought the
causeway
dad
at
was
the
gonna be
end.
the main character in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's the kid. So you didn't
The
know
dad
that
was
right
sick,
away.
dude. I wanted more of the dad. He was dope.
He was a beast.
Yeah. G, you're rocking the no clone. Shout out Cole Battershaw.
Yep. Shout out.
Got to be rocking the
Shout out.
wolf, dude. No, shout out no clone too. I support it.
I should have worn some
Yeah.
gear. I got
I'm
some
not
gear in
wearing
here
any
with me,
gear.
Kev.
Drum Dumpster or Samurai J has some gear.
Did you say drum dumpster?
Yeah,
I should change it to that. That's not bad.
dude, I would love to be a zombie extra in a movie, dude. That'd be so sick.
I think we would crush, dude.
Dude,
These
just
ones are dope,
fucking
too, because they're like athletic. They're like running full speed.
yeah, dude.
Like
That
Alpha
alpha
just
zombie
getting a
was hilarious.
full sprint, full gait.
I would probably be the best
Like,
like
so
a
fun.
Walking Dead one though. The traditional,
Yeah.
just like walking like
The
fucked up,
traditional
dude.
slow, like
Yeah,
dragging
Yeah.
the
slow
leg.
mover.
Dude, I can't Tom Cruise run very like I can't sell that. I don't think they would
I
not
can
take
do it
that
for like
seriously.
20 yards, and then I get gassed.
For real.
Yeah. But so you were happy with it though. Gee, it sounded like you had some beef with it, man.
I just have this is my issue with a lot of new movies is like they make a lot of decisions that don't make sense, and then they avoid things that do make sense. And like I'm not
Yeah.
for everybody, I don't want to go to watch a movie where I know how it's going to end, but the constant
Also,
this is a problem I have with horror movies. They make, and I get it, you kind of have to make the movie progress, but they make everybody an idiot. Like, dude, you're 28 years into surviving. You best believe I would know every single thing. I would know that like I can't talk out loud when I'm out in the mainland. I need to whisper. And
I
like
would be like looking out for sticks on the ground. Yeah.
yeah, or
Dude.
they're like
Stepping on
sleeping
them.
on the floor of a cathedral. Go somewhere high up so they can't. Like, why are you sleeping on the ground out in the open?
Dude, so
Like, they're
after
just
the
gonna
kid's
find
first
you.
mission, he goes and he goes into the bar and everybody's drinking and it's so loud and he has this panic attack. And I wrote in my notes that everybody in there was so oblivious to how horrific the outside world is. The
Yeah.
kid has a breakdown, runs out, and these
that was
people
cool.
does not seem like they're living very smartly. Like, how are they still alive
That
after
was a
28
good.
years?
I bet that's like how a lot of soldiers feel when they get back from war. That's kind of what
Yeah.
that reminded me of. Like, you have no
Yeah.
idea what it's like out there.
Well, what
You're
you were
there
just saying,
celebrating
G,
it.
the A24 warfare, dude, that was very cool to see like how people you can't really train for real combat, and everybody in the opening when they got ambushed were a bunch of amateurs, and then you see the guys that have been in war for a while and they start to calm everybody down. And I think I even said to you either after the movie or before, but it was very honorable for the guy in charge to give his
Yeah.
command to the other guy
Yep.
because he knew he was so fucking rattled that he couldn't properly lead the group. Like
That's a leader.
That was,
He knew he was
that's
in
a
no
leader
position
right
to
there.
lead. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good movie too. That was
that movie's awesome.
unique.
Jay, you should watch that.
What is it?
It's called Warfare. It's probably it'll be out
Oh,
on
you told me
streaming
about
soon.
that. You told me about
It's
that.
crazy. It's crazy.
It's just super. There's no backstory bullshit. It's just people on a mission.
Just
and,
thrown into a wild mission.
yeah.
True story.
And I like that too because that's unique. We've heard the backstory. We know that people are losing loved ones. We know this. We know that. Like it's been done so many times. You don't need to necessarily do that. Like I thought it was cool.
And they're
that
not
they
like
did that.
gunslingers. Like you're not seeing headshots or anything like that. Like this is like
No.
if Hell Let Loose was in Fallujah. It's like realistic.
I've seen a Fallujah documentary by a journalist who was literally front lines, and like, I'll have to send it to you guys because it's nuts. Some dude gets a Purple Heart literally like being filmed on this thing. It's unbelievable from both sides. The journalist goes to the other side and is like, it's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, boys, I gotta embroider a little bit more. I'm heading out to Cali on Wednesday.
Good luck.
We got to see F1 though. We'll do a review on that.
Brad Pitt awaits us for sure.
If it's not gonna last until you're back, Kev, you should see it with your family while you're out there, and then me and Jack.
Yeah, and then we could even do a call, dude. We could do a Cali call and just do this while I'm in California.
For real, we should because
you can call in Yosemite.
Yeah, let's try to watch it around the same time. I'll text you guys.
All right.
Yeah,
sounds
soon
good
for sure.
All right. See you in Fallujah, boys.
Peace out.
Yeah.